Alright, it is time for day 7 of Playable Mordecai. So, we've finished all of our DLC, we're level 77, almost 78. All we really have left to do is get the character to level 80, farm out our OP levels, and then go ahead and test equipment and stuff at OP10. I think we'll probably be doing all of that today. I will be using Gibbed to bump up some of the gear and get a shiny character at OP10 to be able to test everything out evenly and thoroughly. But that's not really a surprise at this point, because beyond just generally slowly farming everything, the character performs insanely well. So I think we'll be okay. We are of course going to be testing out a sniper build, a pistol build, bloodwing build, and then a melee build, which all will relatively use the exact same spec, and most of them will rely on the exact same class mod, if not changing out for one very niche one, or maybe like a sentinel for Bloodwing's damage here. Because the bird just kind of hits like a truck. I don't know if it will at OP levels, but if it's based off Death Trap, maybe it'll still scale properly since he gets buffed by level 2. We'll see, I don't know. But yeah, we're going to farm out a couple levels real quick from boring out Multiplied Spawn Saturn. Gonna go ahead and go back to normal mode and farm out a Bada for rocket jumping and Digipeak to do some skips. And then we'll probably just be on our merry way about testing out actual stuff that we want to test. Maybe. I've made a poor choice. I've made a very poor choice. Oh, okay. We're gonna save quit and try that again. Maybe with a different comm that buffs boar harder. Alright, we put on a boar comm this time. Hopefully this does not suck. It probably will. Oh my goodness, it worked so well. Cool, we're level 80. Let's go back to normal mode and get some stuff. But first, let me go ahead and finish speccing out our melee skill, so that we now have the superior build that can buff literally everything we want ever. Sweet. Alright, yeah, let's go get that. Alright, so we do have spawn multiplier on still, but a good thing about BL2 fix is that it makes normal mode King Mong here drop up to 3 Badas, dependent on how many difficulties you've cleared. And this is solely so that the player can actually farm out a rocket jumper Bada, because getting the exact parts on it that you want is kind of really rare and really annoying. So just a nice quality of life from BL2 fix there, which I do greatly appreciate. So specifically, since I am playing Mordecai and I am playing on controller, I think that we are just going to be going for a max mag size Bada with quick drawler, of course, for the swap speed. But we are also going to go for a TD or sight, since I can't really do drop reloading, and I am not playing on mouse and keyboard to really be able to take good advantage of the extra projectile speed for really fast pogoing. But that's just kind of the basic idea. Full bandit parted out Bada, explosive, with TD or sight and a swap speed prefix. And suddenly, we're done. Cool. Now we just do that a couple more times, alongside, you know, actually having to fight assassins. And we're good. Non-issue, completely.
We match the bandits they emulate.
Definitely a more average character in terms of survivability here. With that damage, though. That damage is kind of really nice. And I do appreciate that the enemies take just long enough to spawn that we don't get kill skills at all for that. But it should be fine. We're already 1 OP level down. Alright, OP3. We should have access to back peek now, which honestly I do prefer that jump. It's a little bit easier.
I want it.
So cool. Feels good. Go ahead and jump over here in a completely not overkill type of way.
Nearly finished with the course.
And back peek time. Let's go.
I have saved the most difficult task for last.
It's robot fighting time.
They hurt so much. Who would have guessed?
Crimson Raider must always be alert in case of an
Oh,
ambush.
and we get to test out Boar a little more. So, how is Binary gonna feel? Probably pretty good.
Course, in keeping with
Just based off of initial water testing there.
task for last.
Alright,
Technology and
so to get to Binary, I think we're just gonna do the
together the
drunk
combat
jump.
styles you see before you.
Starts off the floor,
You'll be ready for a
and then just kind of goes up and over this initial wall here, and then hopefully clear over to the thing over there.
full year.
So that's 2 drunk effects. Hold on. Wait for those to go away. There we go. And a couple extra for good measure. So something like that generally is how we're going to get over here every time. And if I'm right, this should be one of the easiest binaries ever. Here, let's apply slag to body. There we go. Yeah, okay. Not bad. We're gonna try to leave the transformer on this time. Just to see if we can go entirely without swapping equipment. I would imagine the answer is yes. Like, the answer almost certainly is yes. Unless the boss just is intangible. There we go. Alright, the boss is tangible. Now we have to wait for a turret, though. And second turret is the worst turret to bore, since its hitbox is slightly higher, so it doesn't connect as well. And then last turret has similar issue, but it has more health, so you can kind of abuse it more. It's weird. It's a whole thing. Yeah, it's barely connected there.
Was it good for
There we go. Alright, so no first bore. That's because I'm bad at the game. Alright, last OP level. Hey presto, the guy is gone. We are now OP10. That was pretty chill. Who would have guessed? The man with the boar and the bee and... Yeah, the boar and the bees. The man with those is pretty good at the video game. Kinda crazy. Okay, since we are OP10, we're gonna go ahead and start punching in some code. We're gonna start getting some equipment and just test what the character is capable of at OP10. Of course, everything will be like perfect min-maxed items for the most part. I know that some websites get stuff wrong and I'm not gonna really correct it. But we're effectively going to have a character with everything nice that you would want, and we'll just see how well she does. I said she because I was thinking about the fact that it would be Gage that I would be loading up items for. But it's Morty, you know, whatever. We're getting stuff for him. We'll see how it works. Alright, so now that we have made interesting choices, we've got 2 Stingers because I did really enjoy them, an Unforgiven, a couple Lyudas because of course, we've got Matching Grip with Bandit and Tediore and Swap Speed here on a Norfleet. Of course, we've got to get our Infinities. Now, something I literally didn't know about until yesterday is apparently Diva Prefix on Infinities provides a 25% Two Fang effect. So paired with Gun Crazy, should just inherently give it Two Fang, technically. So that's interesting. Got an Amigo because of course we have to test that. Got Lady Fist and Pimpernels of every flavor. We've got our melee build equipment and a couple of other shiny shields over here because, of course, we'll probably start out just by testing out our melee. Because I'm really looking forward to how that's going to feel. So, yeah, I think this is just our melee build. It's just Pokey Stick. We can reroll Grog for a melee attachment. And then it's just the Wrestler Comm. I think having an OP10 version won't do much besides add like a couple more % melee damage and like a little bit of movement speed. So that should be fine. We could use like a Might of the Seraphs or a melee relic, but once again, it just provides an additive melee damage bonus, which doesn't really do a whole lot in the entire calculation of our damage. So it's just kind of not worth doing. We're just gonna roll out that Bladed Grog, and then we'll just go over to like Bloodshot and start smacking dudes for a little bit, see how it feels. If it feels worth it, maybe we'll go take it up to a raid boss and say hello. I kinda doubt it though, but maybe. Okay, so without the skill kicking in, or without our shield being broken rather, that's pretty nice. That's kind of really nice. No need for slag if we score a crit. Survivability is going to be questionable though, of course. So that is a thing to worry about. Do need to watch out for that. This feels a lot better than I was expecting it to though. Like a lot better. Oh, I got knocked into a barrel. That's where the backup Herald comes in. Riotous Remedy. Oh, plus Ransack from the random health vial there. That is pretty darn nice. Kind of just abusing Health Gate to ensure survival. Okay. This is weirdly nice. Alright, well, now that we know that it's mobbing viable, we can go take it up against a raid boss, I guess. Don't expect me to do a full fight, because I don't think it's that swell. But it's good enough. You could use it. He's got just enough swap speed. Once again, looking at the gauge player model. Yeah, he's got just enough swap speed where I think that this would totally be a thing you could just do. That's reasonable. That's very, very reasonable. Hey, you, Mr. Raid Boss Man. His health bar did go down a little bit. His health bar is going down a relatively respectable bit, actually. Hold on. Wait a minute. And I know you're supposed to pop shield and stuff, but like, do you really need to pop shield and stuff if you can just smack him anyway? I guess just getting rid of all but one of the bots would be a good idea. And then, of course, if you get tired of, you know, playing with Hyperion specifically, you just kind of do that. Maybe put on your Borcom a little bit. Get a little bit better at the video game. Possibly, unless he just staggers out of it a lot. But yeah, you get the idea. The melee is actually weirdly respectable. And I do appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, seems weirdly good. Nice. Still got the boar anyway. We take those. Alright, so off of our melee, probably just roll into our generic flat-off renegade that we have been running up until this point. It's going to be the exact same gear you've seen me using, realistically here. It's going to be stuff like B shields, maybe antagonist, sham, whatever safety thickness you got going on. And it's just going to be probably your best overall antics build, if I had to guess. Because he's really, really good with this type of stuff. Probably just stuff like this, realistically. Let's reset the map and just do some mobbing for a little bit. See how it feels. Hey, you. Oh, not that one. Yep. Nice OP10 enemies. Probably switch over to our healing nade here. It'll also help put out slag so that we don't have to swap and stuff. Although I guess that's also what bird is for. You can have bird help. That's really nice mobbing. I mean, I should have known. That's what we've been using the entire time we've been playing the character. But that is like really, really nice mobbing. And then with the V-shield popped, with our kill skills up still pretty respectable. Riotous Remedy is trying its best to fill our health bar. Unfortunately, its best is not very much sometimes. But who would have guessed? This just feels really, really, really good. We are going to also go ahead and test out pistols on the build, since, you know, flat off. And a lot of our skills revolve around pistol too. I think that realistically, a lot of every equipment ever could be used on this build. It doesn't even matter that it's flat off particularly. It just is nice to have it matched to the Allegiance because it also provides that ammo regen. So that's pretty cool. But like, yeah, it hardly needs to even be flat off at this point. You could just use like stuff. And that stuff would surely do fine. Yeah. Yeah, no, this is just good. And then, of course, we can go ahead and swap to the more meta pistol here. And who would have guessed? The meta pistol is doing meta damage. It's actually dealing way too much damage. Wait a minute. Frid being the meme? Kind of a really good meme on this character. Huh. Finally, I'm justified. The pistol is good, guys. Look at it work. We'll go fight Terra, just because I think Terra would be a fun way to test it as well. I do want to at least get to first phase where we can pop tentacles to test out that DPS. And I might get us a crossfire too real quick. Alright. Hey, you. For the slag not kicking in, that's actually pretty respectable. Especially at OP10. Okay. That's actually very, very respectable. Okay. Go ahead and get a couple of these out. Hopefully manage to not pop a tentacle yet. Thank you. We got a volunteer. That's nice. Now imagine if he was purple too. That's how good this would feel. Okay. Well, there you have it. The Vladov build that I've felt was the correct build probably is the correct build. It's just good. This makes complete sense to me. Very nice. Oh. Oh, when the purple kicks in. Okay. Alright, cool. Well, I don't think we need to finish the kill. I think this is pretty good understanding here. We're at rock phase and he's already at half. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and just move on. I think next we'll just go ahead and mess with our Jacob's gunfighter, which is gonna be pretty much the exact same process, just now with Jacob's. And maybe a different relic that I don't have. Maybe this one. Okay. So, we're not fully using the capacity of this class mod because we don't have 2 Fang Spect, which would actually be really good with the Unforgiven, so keep that in mind. You could just do that. You could run your Shadow Relic with that and get 100% 2 Fang, which would actually be insanely good for the Unforgiven specifically here. But we've got the extra crit it provides here, we've got our reload and swap speed here, we've got our sniper damage, and we've got our extra trespass damage here. So I don't even know if I'll need slag. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. There we go, we have Smirk now. So subsequent crits should be easier. I'm bad at the game. Yeah, subsequent crits should just get easier and easier. Thus is the way of mobbing on this character. So this is just going to feel nice. And then of course we can go ahead and throw our Bloodwing at them as well, just to make them stand a little more still, be a little more purple. Overall, die better. Because some of these enemies are not good at dying initially. So you just make them purple. Then they go away. Yeah, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that sniper gameplay is probably pretty good. We do have, you know, a couple of stacks already of this. Why is our pistol fire rate actually, like, good? Oh no, the pistol fire rate's kind of nice. Okay, but I don't think the Unforgiven is quite worth it. Probably a Maggie would have been a better option for our pistol. I have to imagine it would perform fairly well. Relatively decently, at least. But, you know, it can still do stuff. It can still click on a guy and remove massive chunks of his health bar. So that's good. Yeah. This is all fine. That makes complete sense to me. And then honestly, besides using this class mod just to deal like good damage with Jacob's weapons, I think realistically all I would truly use it for is just for boring bosses that could be bored, since it does increase that board damage by such a ridiculously large degree. That's a good chunk on that guy. But yeah, since it literally just doubles our boar's damage, probably would just use it for boar kills instead of actually trying to use it for like an allegiance thing. I don't know if it's the case, but I bet if I put this on, probably performs. That man just disappeared. Yeah, probably performs relatively the same. if I had to guess. Plus the extra sniper mag size from the Vladoff is nice too. But yeah, it's still overall pretty nice. Go back over to Terra, pop him in his eyes a little bit, see how well it does. Realistically though, I think the Lyuda vessel is, like the Lyuda B vessel thing is probably better. Because the Lyuda is just a better vessel for the B. So it makes more sense that that would work better for our rating, but this will probably still be reliable at least. Let's see. Yeah, that's health bar movement. But not a whole lot of effort. That's very, very nice to see. Well, alright. That's also weirdly reliable. I would really like a kill skill though to be able to test out our little bit of relentless damage we have. Okay, yeah, no, this is just good too. Kinda really nice to be able to see the Amigo just be like a raid bossing tool as well. Even if it's not going to be as good as a Lyuda, because once again, Lyuda plus P shield equals haha funny damage. It's still nice to see it perform relatively well. So these two are done. That feels good. Up next, we can use our Hyperion. I don't think we need to go test it. I think you guys fully understand what it's going to be capable of. But we are going to go ahead and use it with a Fibber right here. Because why not at this point? I really don't need to go anywhere to test this. We all have a good grasp of how this should interact. So yeah, I think realistically a lot of these class mods do have a very similar appeal, with a minor variance in quality of gameplay depending on manufacturer. So you can focus on them a little bit. Like this comm will be a lot better for having Bloodwing out during mobbing, because Bloodwing can hit up to 11 times and can also have a really, really high slag chance. So for our mobbing, that would feel really, really good. We do have Smirk here for even more mobbing potential as well with Bloodwing. So at OP10, probably a pretty good mobber. But we go down to our Slayer of Terra, 100% gun damage, Ransack, Riotous Remedy, Relentless. This is also a really, really good mobbing comm. But we go here, this one also buffs Smirk and Relentless. So this is also a really, really good mobber. But this one's really good at raid bossing. But this one's also pretty good at raid bossing. This one's pretty good at raid bossing too. So we're running into this situation a lot. Slayer of Terra is just a mobber really because kills, but like still, we're running into that situation a lot. Vladoff is more general. Jacobs is more of our Borcom. Hyperion one exists and is funny mobber purple man. This one is just a raw mobber. Melee is good melee. And then we have Bird. I don't know if using Bird for raids is ever a thing. But you know, we sure can walk out here and watch the Bird flail on him for a little bit. And we of course will be using it for mobbing as well. Because of course we will. So put the purple on the man. Sit back, watch the Bird do its damage. Look at it go. Alright. Fronting on a tentacle. And it's gone. Yeah, I didn't expect anything to come of that. We're gonna go use Bird against, like, Bloodshot, or somewhere not here. And we'll also use the Hyperion as well, since it does increase our hits that Bloodwing could potentially have against targets. See which one feels better for the Bird? I don't know yet. Go ahead and put on our Healing Nade. Throw out Slag preemptively to really just give Bloodwing... all the potential damage. Oh, good job. Hit him again. I don't know why you're doing shock, but I respect that. I like it. I like the gusto. Alright. One shot that man. That man doesn't exist anymore. He's doing good work. I don't understand. But that was actually just one-shots. So, since he one-shot so often, what if we swap to the increased amount of attacks? Would that be better? I don't know. Don't think we need... Okay, yeah. Didn't one-shot the guy, but the guy was not purple. Probably would have one-shot the guy if he was. Yeah. Okay, the bird can still one-shot people, so... Hyperion Sharpshooter's pretty spicy. Pretty good option for this, it would seem. This looks so dumb. What are you doing, buddy? Oh my goodness, okay. This is great. Yeah, the bird's doing stuff. Can you do more stuff, please? They're kind of being turbo aggressive. There we go. Thank you, Bloodwing. Yeah. So, Bloodwing exists. Bloodwing does work. I think between the two comms, probably just go for the Sentinel because we can just abuse Carrion Call to get Bloodwing back really, really quickly. So probably just do that instead. Just really ensure the most amount of Bloodwing DPS as possible. Because that's surprisingly good, considering what we're trying to do here. If the bird wants to play the game anyway. Good job, bird. Yeah, okay. Bloodwing is certainly doing well. I can respect it. This guy will be a good test. Get our cooldown. Get our bird. Bird missed. There we go. Good job, bird. Hit him again. Good job. That's actually a really good chunk. Oh my goodness, he killed him in 3 hits. That's actually, like, surprisingly good. Alright, and there he goes. Yeah, successfully, Bloodwing has done its job and is leaving to the void. I know I have misgendered the bird multiple times, and for that I apologize. I am just in disbelief at how incredible the bird is performing. It feels really, really dumb. We're gonna go to Bad Maw real quick. Just do Bad Maw about it. Alright. Go bird him. Alright. Good job, we broke the shield. Here, let's go ahead and clear the trash. Yeah, because that's gonna take up Bloodwing's hits. Okay. Not doing so good against the actual boss type enemy. But still better than nothing, assuming, you know, you're actually, like, playing the game with the bird. Most people wouldn't just sit back and just watch the bird and be like, wow, that's cool. Most people would also just, like, play. So, I respect this. It's a pretty decent amount of damage. I think I'm dead here. That's okay. We've got what we wanted. So, yeah. I mean, I guess that's pretty much everything for the character. Mordecai feels really, really good in this game. The Renegade, Gunfighter, and the Sharpshooter and the Slayer of Terra have all felt really good. Slayer of Terra is a very heavy mobbing comm. Sharpshooter is probably pretty close alongside it. And then Gunfighter and Renegade, of course, just feel really good for our bossing. We've got that melee comm. The melee feels really, really good in this mod. Totally recommend it. It is very, very nice. And then Sentinel for the bird was pretty funny. And then of course with Carrion Call, you don't really need any of the other cooldown from the character at all. Like you can just avoid Predator entirely if you put even 2 points into this skill, because that cooldown has always felt insane, even with the restriction of a 1-second delay in between procs. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Character feels really, really good. Snipers feel good, pistols feel good, melee feels good, bird is kind of stupidly funny. That's it. Day 7 feels good.